Okay, what's up, everyone? Swinging Bull back at it with PB alerts, earnings stream. We got Cisco on deck, and we also got TMC, the metals company. Kind of funny, they could have been a little more creative with their name, huh? TMC, the metals company. Anyways, ticker symbol TMC and ticker symbol CSCO, which is Cisco. Let's just take a quick look at when they actually report. Cisco reports at 4:05 p.m. Eastern. It's got 5 more minutes on that. Forecast EPS 0.92, and they have a forecast revenue of 14.05 billion. So we'll see what their data comes in and how it affects the stock price. TMC is the other stock. Earnings whispers say they report at 4:15 p.m. That's Eastern time. TMC trading just above their anchored VWAP. Their anchored VWAP right around like 290. TMC closed the regular session today at 3.01. Regular session just ended. The closing bell just rang about a minute ago. Cisco closed the regular session at 61.28. And Cisco, they're trading just above the anchored VWAP. Their anchored VWAP right around 60 bucks a share. We'll see how their stock price gets affected by the earnings release. Hey, the Chag. Nice to see you, man. My day was good. Made some good money with the lifetime members in our stream. We scalped SPY. I took some SPY puts. We caught this flush down right here. Let me go to just SPY. We got a few minutes to burn before this earnings comes out. I'll put a box around the flush that we caught today. Let's just go to my paintbrush real quick. We caught this move right here. It was a beautiful move. I did the, I believe it was the 588. Yeah, the 588 puts for Monday. I'm sorry, for tomorrow's expiration. And we took the contract from 2.68. It ran all the way to 3.20. So solid trade. We were only in the trade for 10 minutes maybe. So decent return and only a 10-minute trade. But let's get back to the candlesticks here because we're getting a little volatility on Cisco. We go back to here on Trading View. We'll go 1-minute chart. All right, so Cisco kind of getting some volatile candles here. Like I said, they closed the regular session at 61.28. They're sitting at 61.45 right now. Probably just some pre-earnings jitters, if you will. They're supposed to report in about 3 minutes, so let me just double check that again. Excuse me 1 second. Yeah, Cisco at 4:05 p.m. Eastern, so just a few more minutes and we'll get the action on that. Getting kind of a pre-earnings positive move here and after hours. Go back here. I'm going to share a graphic, just kind of like an earnings preview, courtesy of Tenet Research. Take a look at this just for a second while we're waiting on Cisco's data to drop. Okay, their actual earnings call with upper management is at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. So after they report at 4:05, we'll see what the reaction is going to be, and then I'll show everyone how to get to that earnings call. The consensus estimates, analysts expect EPS of 0.92, so the prediction is up 5% year over year on that. Revenue 14.05 billion. They're predicting 10% up year over year. And the guided EPS for Q3, 0.90 to 0.92, and revenue 13.9 to 14.1 billion. So we'll see if they mess with their guidance any, but that's what the guidance is now. The full year, fiscal year 2025 guidance, Cisco expects EPS at 3.68 to 3.74 and revenue 56 to 56.5 billion. So again, we'll see if they mess with any of this guidance, or even if they give guidance. So a lot of companies have been withholding it until Q2 earnings, right? We'll see if they do the same or not. Now, some of these companies that have been withholding guidance, we have more times than not, there's been a negative reaction because they're withholding it. It just creates uncertainty. So it makes sense. Last quarter, their Q2 revenue rose 9.4% year over year to 13.9 billion, which ended a streak of 4 quarters in a row of decline. So they broke that streak. That was when they reported last earnings. Okay, it's exactly 4:05 p.m. Eastern. It looks like the data's out. Getting a bullish reaction. Let me go back to my other screen and see if I got the EPS and revenue. Just keep your pants on. Sometimes that first reaction isn't the real one, as you can see what just happened. Wicked all the way up to 62 and some change. Now it's right back down here, 61.50 area. It's about 20 seconds left on this current candle print. So let's see what the next consecutive candles do. Okay. Let's get this EPS and revenue because it's got to be out. Okay, the buyers pushed it right back up. All right, got a nice little graphic here I'll share with everybody. And we'll keep the price action on the left here. But so far, it's a positive reaction, so looking good for the bulls, isn't it? So far. These are 1-minute candles, so let's make sure. Okay, so the forecast for EPS was 0.92, like we were just talking about. They just reported 0.96. They beat EPS by 4%. So not by a bunch, but nonetheless, they beat it. Revenue was expected 14.06 billion. They just reported 14.149 billion. They beat that by 1%. So kind of in line, but they beat. Year over year, EPS up 9%. Oh, Joker got a straddle. Okay. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully the thetas wasn't too bad on your legs on that straddle. The thing with the straddle, a lot of times, you know, if you're going to do like an at the money straddle, you're going to probably need a big move in most cases. It just all depends, and every option chain for every underlying is different with the Greeks and stuff. So maybe you'll be all right. But typically when I play earnings, a straddle could be a trade. Another trade that I like doing, which I could go over here in a second, would be a long iron condor. So a little bit different than a regular iron condor, a short iron condor, which would be a credit spread on each side of the price. With a long iron condor, you got a debit spread on each side of the price. That might be a little bit better for an earnings play than going the straddle route, just kind of my opinion. I think the long iron condor, there's just more of a chance of the trade working out because, you know, you're not really fighting with theta too much when you're dealing with spreads, right? With spreads, the only thing we care about is the underlying price being on the correct side of our spread. We could care less, you know, like theta is not going to hurt us. And especially with credit spreads, theta is actually a good thing because we want those credit spreads becoming worthless so we can realize 100% of the credit we received on the onset of the trade, right? So Joker, maybe that helps a little bit. Just my personal preference. I like the long iron condors better than the straddles because we don't have to deal with the theta and all that stuff, you know. So I hope that maybe helps a little bit, clarify maybe what you were thinking. But nonetheless, Cisco looks like it's catching a little bit of a bid here, so you'd probably be okay on that straddle. We'll see. Again, it's just going to depend on the expiration date and what that theta decay was. Let's see. So yeah, Cisco's getting a positive reaction. Their EPS was up 9% year over year. But yeah, Joker on YouTube, keep that in mind for next time. Maybe it's either called the inverse iron condor or a long iron condor. Sometimes those are better. I've got a really good win rate trading those. So anyway, Cisco up 9% year over year, almost double-digit growth there. Revenue was up 11% year over year, so double-digit growth on the revenue year over year wise. EPS 2% quarter over quarter, revenue 1% quarter over quarter, so not really much change there, right? But investors are liking what they're seeing on Cisco. Let's see if we can, let me see if I get some guidance or something. We're still waiting on TMC. I don't think they report until 4:15 p.m. Eastern. It's about 4:10, so maybe about 5 minutes on TMC. All right, let's see if they give a guide. Just a couple notes from the CEO of Cisco. Cisco once again had strong quarterly results with clear demand for our technologies. That was said by Chuck Robbins, Chair and CEO. Pistachio on Twitter. I'm still waiting on TMC. Earnings whispers say 415. Earnings whispers times have been wrong before, but they're saying 415. So maybe another 5 minutes on TMC. So the CEO of Cisco says the momentum we are seeing with AI, we all love that word, huh? Is fueled by the power of our secure networking portfolio, our trusted global partnerships, and the value we bring to our customers. Another quarter of solid execution, in Q3 drove revenue, margins, and EPS above our guidance ranges. Looks like they might have increased guidance then. Our innovation positions us well for future growth, and our operational discipline is generating strong cash flows, enabling us to deliver significant shareholder return. Just kind of curious what their cash and equivalents was going into this. Let me just check real quick here on the yeah, I'll do income. Actually, check the balance sheet. I'm sorry. Yeah, damn, they got a huge cash position. Cash and equivalent 16.85 billion. Cisco is a really healthy company. I've always liked them. Going into the earnings, they had a PE forecast 24.06. EPS trailing 12 months figure was 2.28, nice and positive. They even pay a dividend. For those that didn't know, Cisco, we both say at 2.68%. I could probably cross-check that with FinViz to make sure it's right, but 2.68% dividend according to Webull. Free float 3.98 billion. Market cap 243.8 billion, so almost $250 billion company, right? Strong cash position. Investors love that. Okay, looks like it might be trying to take a little bit of a breather here. Let me go back to trading view. 5 minute chart kind of cuts out that noise of that 1 minute, don't it? Pulling back a little bit. I'll go 3 minute. I bet that's right around 25% retrace. Let's take a look. I'll put it right here. Actually, let me go the other way with it. Top to bottom. Okay, yeah, so it's kind of like 38% retraced. Puts it right around 63 bucks. So that's one level you can look at. Maybe S1. S1 63 bucks. If it holds there, probably go after a new after hours high, maybe. S2, I'd probably put that around the golden fib, around 62.50. Just a couple levels to the downside you can keep your eye on, just using the fib. Really easy, clean levels, really. We go to the 1 minute, maybe see if it starts printing some higher lows. Right here, right below 63 bucks. That could be a higher low. We'll see. Let me get some more data here, though. Hold on. I want to see. Okay, so they did increase guidance. I see it right here. I'm also going to post the EPS and revenue on the bottom of my screen on YouTube. Let me just take a little screenshot of the guidance real quick, and then we'll go over that. But they did increase guidance. They increased guidance for Q4, and they increased the remainder of 2025 fiscal year guidance. They increased the EPS and revenue on that number. And they did make a statement. They are maintaining their quarterly dividend at 41 cents a share, which remains unchanged. Well, the estimate was 41 cents a share, so they didn't increase the dividend or anything like that. But the good thing is they didn't get rid of it either, right? I mean, Cisco is just a really good, healthy company, fundamentally and financially. I don't see them taking away that dividend. I wouldn't even think that. So let me just go back up to the top real quick, because I want to post some numbers on the bottom of YouTube. So I know a lot of people are here from Cisco. I know TMC has a pretty good following as well. So we'll go over that here in a second. Okay, let me just. Yep. Okay, this kind of sums it up in a nutshell. Raises the guidance on EPS. And I believe they raised it on revenue a little bit, but here, let me just post this here. CSCO earnings are out. And we're going to go to TMC because they're supposed to be reporting at 4:15. It's 4:15 right now. There's the Cisco data. If anyone's curious looking at that, you can see where they raised the fiscal year guidance there. They beat EPS, they beat revenue, kind of a trifecta of ingredients, if you will, recipe for a positive reaction. Beat EPS, beat revenue, increase guidance, boom, positive reaction. Investors are liking it. Taking a little bit of a breather here. That's okay, and that's normal. Okay, so we know what's going on with Cisco. Good earnings data. This should benefit. The stock price should benefit. Not saying it can't pull back down, but I don't really see anything negative with their earnings so far. So product orders are up 20% year over year. All infrastructure orders taken from web scale customers exceeded $600 million. That's dollars. And they, with that number, they officially surpassed their $1 billion target, target 1 quarter early. They hit that early. All right, let me see if I got anything on TMC. Stock price really isn't doing much. I mean, it's down a little bit, but TMC, the metals company, closed the regular session at $2.99 a share. They're sitting here at 2.91. The volume it had on that today, 7.34 million. Average volume over 30 days, 11.2 million. So kind of trading on low volume today, to be honest with you, which is a little unusual for the earnings catalyst right now. But maybe they pick up more volume once the data's out. We'll see. Okay, still no data on TMC. So let's give that a little bit here. Okay, the put call ratio in favor of call, 6-to-1 ratio. Implied volatility suggests the market is anticipating a move near 11% or 34 cents a share after the results are released. So we know what the expected move is. Probably could be around a 30 to 40% move. Now that's either up or down, right? That's just the implied move. It could go either way. Let's take a look at some other things real quick. There has been some institutions buying into TMC recently. Nothing crazy, but kind of dipping their toes in the water, I guess. All right. There's a lot of people bearish on TMC on Twitter as well. I was looking at that earlier. And just be careful with TMC. I do want to point out, let me jump over to Cisco just real quick. It's holding up here. It's holding up quite nice. Kind of starting to trade sideways a little bit. Perhaps accumulation phase, or starts consolidating sideways a little bit, getting wound up for the next leg up perhaps. We'll have to see, but I don't really see anything negative with Cisco's earnings data. Like I said, they beat EPS, they beat revenue, and increased guidance. I mean, that's just those are the ingredients for it to stay positive here. So it wouldn't surprise me if once this consolidation phase closes out, it maybe makes a run for a new after hours high. So we'll just keep our eye on it and see. But it's looking like a congrats to the Cisco Bulls. All right, still waiting on TMC. Got about 800 people tuning in right now. Welcome, everyone. My name's the Swinging Bull with PB Alerts. I do these streams every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Take a look at the earnings calendar at the beginning of the week and pick up 2 popular tickers for each of the days. Then we come on here and watch the earnings reaction, get the data released out to everyone, EPS, revenue, any guidance we can find, that kind of thing. look at some levels on the chart with some support and resistance levels after the earnings reaction is in. So just some simple levels everyone can watch for the remainder of after hours. And then, of course, we have the pre-market data that we'll get tomorrow morning. So just make sure I didn't miss anything in Discord. Looks like everyone's chatting, having a good time over there. Good to see everybody. Okay. We go back here to TMC. Still kind of flat, not really much going on. So I'm assuming the data is not out. Cisco up a little over 3% in after hours. That's $2 a share. Okay, and also just a reminder about our second annual Traders Paradise in Chicago. It's going to be from June 9th through the 12th. You can see it on my screen right there. It's going to be at the Hyatt Regency. Looking forward to staying there. I'll talk a little bit more about this in a little bit, but I want to get TMC's data. We just haven't gotten it yet. Cisco's web call, I believe, is in 10 minutes. So let me show everyone how to get to the earnings web call with the higher ups with Cisco. Okay. Pretty easy to find the earnings web call. Just Google Cisco Investor Relations. Boom, first link that pops up. Probably be under events, but we'll go to the home page and check it out. Okay, let's take a look here. So yeah, news and events. Okay, here's the conference call right here. So it's right on that homepage. Let me post this link, as a matter of fact. Everyone can take a screenshot of this link, and this will take you to the web call, the earnings web call with Cisco. There you go. I'll leave it up there for a little bit, give everyone a chance to screenshot that. But once you get to the link, just scroll down to news and events. You can see right here, Cisco conference call, May 14th, which is today. Just click on the little webcast button. And they may ask you to fill out a little form. It's okay. Probably just asking you for name and email. Probably keep a tally of how many people attend the web call. And right here, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. So Cisco's web call is in 8 minutes. All right. Okay, so now we know how to get there. Let's go back to TMC. Still nothing going on. I mean, it's down a little bit, but I don't think it's because of the earnings data. Like I said, the expected move is about 30 to 40 cents a share. It's down 9 cents right now. So this is not earnings data related, just maybe some pre-earnings jitters here. Okay, so it looks like the time that Earnings Whispers provided for TMC's earnings data release was wrong. They said it was 4:15 p.m. Eastern, and it's obviously past that, and we don't have it yet. So they have not released the data yet. We'd know it. The candle, well, I guess it's candles kind of moved back up a little bit. Sitting here at 2.98 in after hours, 1 cent below where it closed the regular session. Look at Cisco. That trading sideways, that consolidation price action here, looking like it's gearing up for a new after hours high. So I think that Cisco bulls, y'all are good to go. We'll see. Of course, anything can happen. We are trading stocks, right? But it's looking good so far. Absolutely. Let me see. Yeah, still nothing on Cisco. So we're just gonna have to wait. We're just gonna have to wait. I believe TMC, are they coming off an offering? Would they raise 37 million at $3 per share with a warrant? Okay, exercisable at 450. The warrant becomes exercisable once the shares trade above 7 for 20 days. So, whoever has those warrants, they won't be able to liquidate those warrants until it trades above 7 for 20 days. That's the stipulations behind owning those warrants. So just something to keep in mind if you do own those warrants. Let's see what else they said. Okay, so they did structure it that way, in part because the strategic value of the investors involved. The structure gives us potential future funding at the 450 exercise price. So think of it as raising 750 in 2 steps. Okay, I guess that makes sense. But again, still waiting on data, so I don't have anything yet. As soon as I get it, I will let everyone know right away. It's almost 4:25 p.m. Eastern. Cisco still looking good, holding up very nicely up here. While we're waiting on TMC data, I guess that'd be a good time to go over a hedge trade I put in place yesterday afternoon. I think everyone would probably be pretty interested in seeing this. I'll just go to my alert channel on the Discord and I'll just show everyone right here in real time what I did. Maybe it'll give some people listening into the stream some good ideas on a good way to hedge for the future. Okay. Actually had a little bit of profit on the table on the hedge today. I want at least 50% out of this hedge, so I'm going to keep holding it. But okay, here's the trade here. Okay. So hopefully everyone can see that. I'm going to take a peek at TMC every once in a while, just see if they're moving, but there's nothing. We kind of already know what's going on with Cisco. Positive reaction. They're trading sideways, potentially gearing up for a new after hours high, another leg up maybe. So I'm going to let that dog lay there for a second, but I want to keep TMC on my right of my screen so we can see when, because as soon as this starts moving, we know the data's out, right? But right now it's just not, there's nothing going on there, but we'll keep it in our view over here. So this was the hedge trade. I usually do most of my hedges on SPY. I'd rather have my hedge on the overall market, not just an individual stock. That's what's worked best for me over the years. And what not a long amount of time on this hedge. Okay, it was a put debit spread, or the slang term is a bear put spread. I guess it's easier to know what direction we're going if calling it a bear put spread, but the technical term is a put debit spread. Okay, and I dated it May 23rd. To be honest with you, SPY, I mean, I scalped a nice put on that today, made some good money, but SPY just looks like it might be running out of gas a little bit. You can see the daily chart here. And of course, Monday morning, the 90-day tariff pause news broke with the media outlets. Just about any stock worth a damn gapped up, right? So a little bit of a unique situation with this gap down here that happened on Monday morning, because a lot of the other stocks have the same gap. So it's not really a situation, we see gaps on SPY a lot, but sometimes it's just, limited to SPY and maybe the Mag 7. This particular gap that happened on Monday morning, I mean, this was like a market-wide gap. I mean, almost every stock, like I say, it probably has this right here from Monday morning. So I just, number one, it's a hedge trade. I currently have 5 open wheel positions. So I am long on 5 stocks right now. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to put the hedge in place, to have a little bit of downside protection. And the other reason was this little Gaparuski right here. That's basically on almost all the charts, right? So I put the hedge in place, and what I exactly did was, for May 23rd expiration, I bought to open the 589 put, and then I sold to open the 588 put. Okay, that forms a $1 wide spread. This is a put debit spread. My break even is by expiration is 588.57. I got filled at $43 for each one. I usually open up a handful of these, but one lot size, they cost $43. Risk reward was decent. You're risking $43 to make $57 profit, plus your $43 back, right? So if you're making $57 profit on a $43 initial debit, but this pays 132% potential return on your risk, right? So this is a decent hedge. Most hedge trades I put in place, I want triple-digit returns on these, all right? And I do a lot of debit spreads because the cost can be really low compared to a credit spread, where if it's an out-of-the-money credit spread, perhaps you're tying up a little bit too much money compared to the little bit of amount of credit you might receive if the trade works out. So credit spreads aren't really ideal for hedges, I don't think, because the risk reward isn't too good on those, especially the out of the money credit spreads. So I prefer the out of the money put debit spreads, where we're just going to pay, a fraction of the money that we would need if we were to open up a credit spread, and then your broker would obviously put that money on hold while the trade's open and see how the trade works out. But with the put debit spread, it's pretty easy to get a triple digit return on these things. So this is my preferred trade that I use for the hedges. Okay. And basically I'm protected. I got not fully protected, but I got some downside protection. If SPY is below 588.57 by next Friday, I will be profitable. You can see here on the graph here. And it's 132% potential gain. If SPY, don't forget, tomorrow morning we have initial jobless claims. Let me take a quick peek at TMC, make sure it's not moving. Yeah, it's still kind of flat, huh? So TMC, there's still nothing on TMC. I know there's some people here for TMC data, and I apologize, but they just have not dropped anything yet. They haven't dropped any data yet. So everyone's kind of waiting patiently on this. Whoever's been, following TMC. And but anyways, back to the hedge trade. So basically, look where SPY's trading at now, right? So this spread I opened up yesterday afternoon is actually already profitable a little bit. I kind of caught the top yesterday when I opened the spreads. I had about 15% profit on the table earlier today. It might be closer to 10 now because SPY kind of moved up a little bit. Yeah, kind of double bottom action after I scalped it for a nice put trade here, but kind of came back up here a little bit green on the day. SPY was up 0.13%. So, but my point is any downside below 588.57, technically, I'm just gonna have some profit here. I'm gonna make some money on the downside. And some people just have a bunch of long positions and they don't have no hedges in place. And then when the market shits the bed, then they're crying the blues, And I prefer to trade more. I guess you would call it safer, because I'm fully prepared. If there is a market downturn, I'm not just going to be sitting on the sidelines crying. I'm going to be making money while we wait for the market to bottom out and start going back up again. And that's just how I prefer to trade. I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit of money to make sure that I can make money if there's a market downturn. So, that's just how I roll and how I trade. So this is a pretty good example of a decent hedge trade that we put in yesterday afternoon that pays a triple digit return. If SPY wants to sell off, I'm going to be fully prepared to make profit on this trade, and it's a great thing. So I shared the hedge trade I opened up yesterday. We got Cisco's reaction. It's Cisco looks really nice up here, y'all. Sometimes we see a positive reaction and then it just kind of falls and comes back down either quickly or slowly, making lower highs and coming back down. But this is holding up quite nicely. Again, Cisco beat EPS, they beat revenue, and they raised guidance. So I don't see this coming back down. I think there's more of a chance that this is going to make a new after hours high, and it might even trend going into tomorrow. Once we get pre-market data, we'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and say congrats to the Cisco bulls. Well done by the company. They released some good data, and investors are really liking it. TMC, still nothing going on. Sitting here at $2.96 a share. They closed the regular session at $2.99 a share. So it's just sitting here flat. Nothing going on. Data's not out yet. Hopefully everyone had a chance to screenshot the Cisco link I have at the bottom of my screen. That takes you to their web call, which started 4 minutes ago. I'm not going to join that web call and stream that because I'm still waiting on TMC data, but I at least wanted to show everyone how to get there. So, all right, so I'm going to put Cisco's data back up now, the EPS revenue and the fiscal year guidance raise. Let me just check TMC one more time. We might not get the data. I mean, it's already been over 30 minutes. We might not get the data by the time I'm done streaming. So I don't know. We're going to have to wait. Okay, TMC provides first quarter 2025 corporate update. Okay, so is it out or what? Let me double check. I'm going to go straight to TMC's investor relations and see what they got. Because if the data's out, then this was just a big nothing burger. Nothing, no reaction, nothing. Okay, Q1 2025 financial highlights. It looks like it's out. Let me just show it. It's very unusual they're not getting a reaction, but their data's out as far as I can see. This is straight from the company. This is their investor relations page. TMC, the metals company, a leading explorer of the world's largest undeveloped resource of critical metals essential to energy, defense, manufacturing, and infrastructure. Today provided a corporate update and first quarter results for the period ending March 31st, 2025. Some of the highlights: total liquidity of approximately 43.8 million at March 31st, 2025, including cash of 2.3 million. Yeah, be careful with that. I mean, it's good they got liquidity of 43.8 million, but cash, only 2.3 million in cash. I don't know, a little bit of a red flag. I smell an offering, don't you? You smell what the rock's cooking? I smell an offering coming on this thing, maybe. I don't know. Just be careful with it, please. Anytime a company has a really low cash position, there's always a risk of an offering. And of course, stocks react negatively to offerings. Let's see. Allseas Group affiliate facility of 25 million was terminated by mutual agreement in Q1 as maturity was approaching and no amounts were outstanding. Okay. While the maturity of 7.5 million Allseas working capital loan was extended from April to September 2025. 9.3 million cash used in operations. They did take a net loss of 20.6 million. So you see what I'm getting at here? I mean, the net negative loss they took last quarter. I mean, that's you know, their cash is, whatever cash they're sitting on is going to evaporate super quickly. It's going to be gone. Net loss per share 0.06. You know, I wish I had better news for the bulls, but I just don't see anything too fantastical about this. Registered direct offering. Here we go. Registered direct offering resulting in expected gross proceeds of 37 million through the issuance of 12.3 million common shares at $3 per share. Okay. The registered direct offering is led by Michael Hess, CIO of Hess Capital. All right. Each share is accompanied by a Class C warrant to purchase one additional share at an exercise price of $4.50 per share. Okay, we were talking about this earlier. And again, regarding the warrants, they have a 3-year term with a mandatory exercise if shares trade above $7 per share for 20 consecutive days. Okay. And the higher ups are probably going to sugarcoat a bunch of these statements, of course. Now, they did announce a $37 million strategic investment into advanced deep sea mineral development. And that was directly related to the offering they did. That's what they're going to use the money for. Which is, that could be positive. Some companies do an offering because they need the money to stay afloat. At least they're saying that they're using the money to actually, it's a strategic investment into directly related to what their company does. So that's not bad. It's not bad. And they did submit an application for commercial recovery of deep sea minerals in the high seas under U.S. seabed mining code. Okay. So yeah, their earnings are out, but it's just not anything, like I say, like fantastical, where it's going to catch a bid and run to $4 or $5. You know, I'm just not seeing it. Financial results overview. They held the cash of approximately 2.3 million and short-term debt of 10 million. We believe that our total liquidity, including cash and borrowing availability of 41.5 million. So they're saying they can still borrow a little over 41 million if they wanted to. That's under their credit facility with Ares Capital. And they're saying that will be sufficient to meet our working capital and capital expenditure commitments for at least the next 12 months from today. So if anyone was worried if they had enough cash to keep the boat afloat, if you will, this is the statement here that kind of explains all that. With, you know, that 2.3 million they're holding in cash, that's just a drop in the bucket. I don't even know why they said that, but it's really what's going to keep them afloat is their ability to be able to borrow another 41.5 million. And so they're saying that that's going to keep them afloat for the next 12 months. All right. So you got 12 months of landing strip left, right? And then when it gets close to there, they'll probably push some maturity dates out for some debt, and they'll try and keep the ball rolling down kicking the can down the road, if you will. But hey, that's the money they're using for the direct from the direct offering, is going to be used for a strategic investment. So maybe that ends up paying off for them and they'll be okay. But just be careful. It is technically a penny stock. Anything under $5 is technically a penny stock, right? So just be careful with it and just understand they are low on cash. They do have credit lines they can pull from. Not necessarily a good thing, but at least it helps keep them afloat a while longer. But yeah, basically no reaction to the stock price. So unfortunately, didn't get a positive reaction. But the other side of the coin, they didn't really get a negative reaction either, did they? So kind of just sitting here at baseline, and maybe they, gain some interest later on in after hours tonight. Once the earnings data is fully digested by investors, maybe someone takes a chance on them. An institution, hedge fund, or whatever, someone with deep pockets might take a shot at them. We just haven't seen it yet. They haven't caught a bid, but again, they haven't sold off either. So keep your eye on it for the remainder of after hours. Maybe once they do their web call, maybe there's going to be some more clarity, perhaps with guidance or something, and maybe they get a move then. But the data's out and there's just nothing going on. So not much to report on TMC outside of what we just talked about. So yeah, with that said, looks like we got the reactions. Just to summarize, Cisco had a positive reaction, really nice move. Pulled back a little bit, now trading sideways, perhaps gearing up for another leg up and new after hours high. Keep your eye on some very easy levels. Again, $63 a share. That'd be my S1. And then I'd say the golden ratio right around 62.50 would probably be my S2. And of course, resistance one is just going to be the after hours high. Simple as that. Maybe the top of when it was consolidating. So R1 could maybe be 63.75 and then 64.25-ish for the after hours high. So that'd be your R1 and R2 there. Easy levels to keep in mind. But yeah, with that said, it's about 4:45 p.m. Eastern. Just jump back to Trader's Paradise real quick. Again, this is our second time doing this. Make sure everyone can see the dates. It's June 9th through the 12th at the Hyatt Regency in Chicago. Can't wait to meet everyone that's going. Last year we did it in Delray Beach. I, of course, live in Florida, so I just jumped in my truck and drove over and got a chance to meet everyone. We live traded every day. And this event's I think, going to be 10 times better. It's a 4-day event. Again, it's at the Hyatt Regency in Chicago. There's a link in the description of this stream that'll take you right to the page I'm on right now. This is where you get the tickets, right? Just a quick rundown of what's going on at this in-person event in Chicago. We're going to live trade at a market open every day, so make sure you bring your laptop so you can trade right along with us in person live. There's going to be a bunch of interactive workshops. It's going to be a live master class on advanced options. I'm running that session. Of course, that's what I do in the Discord. Multi-leg options is my favorite thing to do. I target weekly and monthly income using multi-leg options, basically. So I'll be running that one. The owner of the company, Big Quench, his name's Austin. He's going to be showing everyone his advanced range trading strategy. He's made a ton of money over the years using it, and he's decided he's going to share it with everyone and show everyone exactly how he does it. That's going to be great. And then there's going to be an AI and tech space deep dive. So basically where big money and institutions are placing their bets for the rest of the year. Lou Bassanisi, we got someone famous going to be speaking. Everyone knows Lou. It's been on Fox News, MSNBC, you name it. He's done interviews, financial interviews for some big media outlets. He's going to show us and give us guidance on how to develop to be a better investor. I can't wait to sit in on that session. We're also releasing a new trading view indicator. There is discounted hotel rooms. So once you get your ticket, call the Hyatt Regency. Right after that, we did block off 50 hotel rooms. So you want to make sure you get the discounted hotel room. So right after you get the ticket, call the hotel and get that locked and loaded. There is 3 tickets to choose from. I'll just go through them real quickly. The bronze ticket, this gets you 2 days of the event, right? You get the live trading at market open, the AI and tech space deep dive, the new trading view indicator we're releasing, and you get the presentation with Lou Bassanisi. It's going to be great. That's the bronze ticket. So just 2 days of the 4-day event is the bronze ticket. The silver ticket gets you 3 days of the event, of the 4-day event. Has everything in the bronze package, plus a lot of extras that the bronze package doesn't have. Okay, so that's the bronze and silver ticket. The top tickets, the gold ticket, I hate to say it, but we're sold out of these. We can't even sell any more of these. We sold the limit on these. Everyone wanted the gold package. To my understanding, these are not even available anymore, this gold package. The gold package comes with the private VIP dinners, so lots of high-level discussions happening behind closed doors at these dinners. So I can't wait to have dinner with all the speakers, and it's just going to be a high-level dinner, and I'm looking forward to sitting in and talking with everyone during that. But not really any sense of talking anymore about the gold package because we're sold out. We don't have any more gold tickets, to my understanding. Nikki on Discord could probably confirm that for me, but anyways, we still have bronze and silver tickets left. And I do want to mention those bronze and silver tickets are 30% off right now. So you can save a nice chunk of money. I think that discount is good through the end of the week, I believe. 30% off. So yeah, I cannot wait to meet everyone in Chicago. And it's just going to be a blast. Lots of live trading. I'm personally going to be releasing a new advanced options strategy to everyone. And it's a big deal, so you don't want to miss it. But yeah, with that said, if you do end up buying tickets to this Traders Paradise in-person event in Chicago, I definitely look forward to meeting you. And if you're just looking for a new home, a new community, a new support, we have tons of support in our community. We always help each other out. So if you're just looking for a new home, come join the Discord. Links in the description. You can even join for free, see how you like the free section, and go from there. Or if you just want to jump right into premium, you can do that as well. But yeah, other than that, I hope everyone enjoyed the stream. Just a quick recap. Cisco had a positive earnings reaction. Now it's trading sideways. I personally think it's gearing up for another leg up and a new after hours high. They had great earnings data, beat EPS, beat revenue, increased forward guidance. It's a beautiful thing. TMC released earnings, and it just turned into a big nothing burger. All right, as of right now. Not to say when they do their earnings web call with the upper management, maybe it gets the move then, or maybe someone with deep pockets takes an interest later tonight or in the morning. You're just going to have to wait and see. Nobody knows. But yeah, with that said, had a lot of fun streaming again on this earnings stream. I will be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, and the companies that are reporting tomorrow that I will be doing the earnings on are going to be AMAT and TTWO. So that's Applied Materials and Take-Two Interactive. So we'll take a look at those two and see what's going on. Also, just a reminder, I want to remind everyone, I believe Powell's talking tomorrow morning. Let me just share that with everyone in case someone didn't know. But Powell will be talking tomorrow morning. Let me pull up the calendar here and show you. Here we go here. So I am showing, yeah, right here. Let me blow this up a little bit so y'all can see it. Okay, hopefully you can see that. And also, we got initial jobless claims tomorrow morning. And we have inflation data tomorrow morning, PPI, Producer Price Index to be more specific. That all happens at 8:30 a.m. That data is dropping. 10 minutes after that inflation data drops for the Producer Price Index, Powell's talking. He's giving a speech. 8:40 a.m. Eastern. Powell is talking before the bell, which is a little unusual. Usually he likes to do his press conferences in the afternoon before the closing bell, and around 2:30. But for some reason, he's talking tomorrow morning before the opening bell. So tomorrow morning, expect some volatility, especially with initial jobless claims. Then you got the inflation data and Powell speaking. That's basically three catalysts all kind of rolled into one before the opening bell. So please, please, please be safe. Don't try and play hero. Not financial advice, but everyone that knows me knows I'm more of a safe trader. I don't really like high stress levels. That's why I do advanced options, multi-leg options, and I target weekly and monthly income. I don't really care too much about the intraday ups and downs so much. Every now and then I do have fun and I'll jump in the trenches and do some day trading, and I usually do pretty well doing that. Matter of fact, we had a beautiful put trade earlier today with the Discord members. We made some great money on, took a SPY put from 2.68, ended up hitting the 320s per contract. So that was a fun trade. Only lasted 10 minutes. We made some good money, and I went on about my day. But yeah, anyways, I hope everyone enjoyed, and I'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. for the next earnings stream. I hope everyone has a great night, and I'll see you in the next stream. Cheers.